Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Designs by Dana. I'm Dana and I'm also close to my heart maker. Tonight I am working on the Coast to Coast CTMH maker collaboration for the month of July. This is a collaboration that started out with 4 close to my heart makers and has now expanded out to additional makers and customers alike. So if this is something that you are interested in joining, please reach out to us through our Facebook page, which is also called Coast to Coast CTMH Maker Collaboration. So just as a refresher, let me get this out of the way. And I'm going to bring in my cards. And what we do is every month we do a Story by Stacy card draw. So this helps with prompts for our scrapbooking throughout the year of 2023. So these are the Story by Stacy cards. And they come with a deck of cards with Ready, Set, Go to kind of help you get motivated and come up with ideas for scrapbooking. So for this month, our Ready card is home, which could be your childhood home, a family home, first home, so on. The Set card is a screenshot, so social media, idea, inspiration, picture of a picture, meme, etc. The Go card is circles or stripes, mix and match, create your own stamps, die cuts, stickers, shakers, borders, and embellishments. And the bonus card is layers, so layering paper, die cut stamps, photos, clusters, and embellishments. So let me kind of move this up and I'm going to bring in my photos that I'm going to work on. So originally when I saw this, I initially knew exactly what I wanted to do, which was photos of us moving into our current home. And then I couldn't find the photos I wanted to use. So I did a little bit more digging and I found these photos. And these are photos of my great grandparents' farmhouse. And this house really meant a lot to me growing up. And like I said, my great grandparents lived in it. And then after my great grandpa died, my great grandma had to sell the farm, move into town. But then years later, my great uncle purchased the farm back. And so he lived there for several years. So it had been in the family for a very long time. This picture was taken in 1958. And she had written on here that picture of our house, 1958 from the east side. And so this is a kind of a screenshot photo. So it's a scanned photo that was on my mother's computer that I was able to pull down and print out. And what I plan to do is do a flip flap with this photo on top, and then this being a more modern photo of the house underneath. So kind of an older shot and then a more current shot. And then down here below, I have some smaller photos of my great grandparents out in the yard back when there's some snow on the ground. I'm not quite sure when this was taken, maybe in the 60s or 70s. And then them sitting on the porch. Probably both of these maybe around the 60s, 70s time frame. One with the dog in the yard and then sitting on the porch. My great grandpa died in the early 70s. I was about 6 when he passed, so somewhere around that time frame for these photos. So I think I'm going to put those down the bottom like that is kind of my vision. So let me get this out of the way and get some papers pulled in and we'll get started. Okay, I have my Versamat. I'm going to bring in all of my papers. I chose to use the papers from the Feels Like Home paper packet. Ever since I had this paper packet, which has been a while, I've always wanted to do a layout with the gray and the green color palette. The green that I'm using here is Fern, which is retired, and the gray is charcoal gray. And I just really like this color combination, and I always thought it would look good for a heritage layout. So as I'm dry fitting everything together here, you can see that I'm putting my photos down, and I've got that base page here, which is kind of like a, I'm going to say a shiplap type of a pattern. And then here I'm going to show you how I'm assembling my flip flap. So I've got my photo, I put it on a photo mat, and I put it in my flip flap, and then I'm going to put my journaling piece underneath that. And you can see I'm going to fold that down, and it's going to go on top of that more current photo. So let me get that glued down, and then I wanted to, well, I have everything else glued down. I wanted to show you kind of my hack for how I put together my flip flaps. So what I do is I take my bottom photo mat here and I put a piece of adhesive just on that little strip, and then I glue the flip flap down to the photo mat. And now I can go ahead and put some adhesive down on the rest of the mat, pull that strip off, and I can glue everything down to the layout together as one piece. For me, I find this so much easier than try to fuss with tucking it under or fiddling around with two different pieces. So I found that a lot easier. I hope that helps you out. I also wanted to show you that I cut out this word home, and I wanted to use it on the layout originally, and I found 3 different places, the top, the middle, and the bottom I could use it. And I thought I would use that O for a shaker, and I thought, there's no reason to add to this layout just for the sake of adding a shaker or additional pieces. So I opted to take it off and just keep this layout really simplistic for the heritage theme. So I'm pulling in my other little embellishment pieces here, and you'll notice that this layout is going to be really simplistic compared to many of my other layouts if you've watched a lot of videos from my channel. So I'm going to go ahead and, since I don't have a lot, get them glued down. As I'm gluing them down, I'll just share with you one of the memories that I have from being on the farm with my great-grandma after my grandpa passed away. I remember sitting on the cellar door, and for some reason I asked her, how much money she was going to get when she sold the farm, because she was going to sell it. And I remember that she separated her hands and she said she was going to get a stack of money that was going to be this big, and it was like a foot apart. And I thought, wow, that's so much money. She's going to be just rich by selling the farm. And for some reason, that memory just always stands out in my mind, that she was going to get a stack of money that big. So I'm going to add a couple more stickers on here. And then I really wanted to capture the wording that was at the bottom of the photo, because when I printed it, it kind of got cropped off. So I'm going to bring in my journaling pen, my Le Pen marker, and I'm just going to hand write that on here at the bottom of the photo. So it says, front of our house, 1958 East Side. And that's really going to wrap up this simplistic layout. Okay, I have my finished layout here, and I'm happy to say I was able to keep it pretty simple. Not a lot of embellishing, which, if you follow my page, I tend to do a lot of, and can sometimes I don't want to say overdo it, but I do like to embellish a lot. But I wanted this to be relatively simple page for my heritage album, and I think that I kept it that way intentionally, and I'm happy with that. I did like the way that my flip flap turned out. So I've got my hidden journaling here that talks about some of my memories about Grandma and Grandpa's farm, and how my uncle bought the farm even after they passed away, and remembering how we always asked to ride the horses, and Grandpa said we had to wait until after dinner. And then I also wrote about a memory of being attacked by a rooster once while helping Grandpa out in the yard. So those are some vivid memories I have of the farm. So I hope that you enjoy that. So if you do, make sure you hit that like button below, and consider subscribing as well if you haven't done so already. And I want to kind of set this aside and share with you what our cards will be for August. So I have those here. So the ready card will be friendships. So you can talk about your besties, inside jokes, groups, how you met, roommates, childhood friends. For set, we have song lyrics, poems, lullabies, memorized, your jams, playlist, performance. Go, we have monochromatic color scheme, so black and white, sepia, anything that would fall under the monochromatic. And for bonus, we have interactive, so flip, flaps, pulls, spinners, shakers, and so on. So one of the things that we do when we do our coast to coast collaboration is we use the hashtag C2C and then whatever the month is. So for this month, it would be JUL for July 23. Next month, it'll be C2C AUG 23. So if you'd like to follow along, definitely follow along. And then when you post your projects on social media, feel free to use that hashtag so we can enjoy your creations along with you. So if you have any questions, feel free to post those in the comments below. I always enjoy reading your comments and suggestions, ideas. And until next time, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.